Hello, guys, and welcome to Behind the Bunker, episode 472, podcast 352, beautiful Behind the Bunker studios. We are live on Facebook, and we're also streaming live on YouTube. So if you guys are on either of those platforms, hit that like and share, or smash that subscribe or notification thing, whatever you want to do. So thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Todd Ansich. I'm here every week with you guys doing paintball content. And with me, I also have Gavin Sharma. He's from TerraTech Industries.
I am from TerraTech Industries, but I am in the air chair right now, and I am looking at you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm asking you for one thing, or two things, or three things that my friend Todd had talked about. Make sure you hit like. You can hit share, or if you're so inclined, you can start a watch party with your family and celebrate. It is Monday night, and it is Behind the Bunker, and you're joining us this evening. And remember, we are taking a look at what you are typing in the chat forum, both on Facebook and in the YouTube world as well. So thank you for joining us. It's going to be a fantastic show.
It's kind of creepy.
A little bit.
Then we have Joe Gibson from Flaggers Paintball.
Hey,
speaking of creepy.
I'm watching you.
Why you got to be like that?
Why you got to be like that? Hey, guys, and girls, thanks for tuning in tonight to beautiful Behind the Bunker. We are live here. We're going to talk a little bit about paintball. And, of course, we'll talk about questions for idiots or whatever we are.
Very
but
good.
That'll be fantastic.
I'm quasi-idiot. I would say I'm more moron.
Ask an idiot.
Ask a jerk. That's all Todd.
Yeah. That's my new segment. Also, Josh's limo just pulled up, so... oh, there he is.
Look at that.
Is he professional enough to be able to do it without his headphones?
Why not?
There we go.
Speaking of the mic, jackass.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of the mic, jerkass. So awesome, guys. Welcome. New show every week as we try to do for you guys. So hit that like and share button. We also have Matt pushing all the buttons tonight.
Yes, sir.
And we may have a special guest live in studio in a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see that shortly. Did you see the special guest outside?
Yeah, that's who I was talking to.
Okay. Oh, is that why you're late?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
There's a fly in here. And it's not Spanish.
Yeah.
I was going to make a comment about Gavin, but I'm going to leave that.
Let's move on. Come on.
Yeah.
We're off to a good start.
Very good. All right, so let's move on to what we have here. Planned Eclipse, ladies and gentlemen. Hoodies. They are back in stock.
Oh, boy.
If you guys are looking for some great cool weather wear, head on over to Planet Eclipse, and you can check them out there. To go with your hoodies, I dream of beanies. Get some awesome new beanies. Super warm, super comfy, super stylish. Available now. Also, take a peek. If you're not a toque wearer, you can wear a trucker hat. So there you go. Check them out at Planet Eclipse.
I'd like a hoodie.
I would too. I like those hoodies. I am wearing one right now, but I like all of them, but I think I like the one in the middle, dead middle with the black there. So
You're dead to me, Black?
there we go. And we know Leeds watches this show and listens intently, so I'm sure he's hearing that right now, and he's running down to the warehouse yelling at his staff, hey, we have to get those guys from Behind the Bunker some hoodies.
And EMFs.
Yeah.
We'll send it in one box.
Although I will admit, I can't say it right now because they're not a sponsor, but we did have a sponsor that has a product, and we talked about it because we were quite excited about it, and a couple weeks later he sent me a picture. He had gotten his and ordered it because he had heard it on Behind the Bunker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you
We
guys
have
remember
that much influence.
Yes. We have
One.
We have
One
influence.
person.
Yeah, we
One-
had
one
one
influence.
successful.
One level of
And not just
one
a bad
level of
influence as per usual.
Yeah.
Influence is influence.
No, you're okay.
Speaking about
We're only looking at Gavin. Matt, you gave it away.
All right, so Todd, I was
That broke the studio.
I was waving and screaming at your producer there, asking if we are live on YouTube or not.
I'm trying to figure that out, to be honest with
Okay.
you. And if so, where?
I can't find it, but let's keep going with Facebook.
Yeah. So I'll look at that while you guys are chitter chattering. As you saw, Matt gave it away. We have a special guest, and we'll get him on mic in a few minutes. What else do we have? Oh, make sure you guys check out Paintball Media. They have their new online magazine issue out. It is up right now. It's not at all distracting. Everything going on.
What the hell is going on
I
tonight?
know.
Pay no attention to this audio podcast.
Yeah. And then here you go, guys. Make sure you, if you haven't done it already, get your 3 discs, your 6 one-hour episodes of the complete history of paintball. There has been other history of paintball documentaries, but this is the completest. So make sure you guys check that out.
I am very, very freaking excited about that. So I have requested my Blu-ray copy versus the DVD copy because of the high def. And like I said, once it comes in, you won't see me for at least 6 hours as I work in Ash Group at my couch. And just really, I'm looking forward to it. So I was blown away at the 3-hour streaming documentary. So I'm looking forward to now extra, more gooder copy of this. The complete history of paintball. John Almadea and his team put together an exceptional piece of product and paintball history, and I'm absolutely looking forward to the extended version of that. So, yes, you can see through my sweater, my nipples are hard, and I'm tickled and excited about watching this.
Speaking of hard nipples, what about this fellow? This is Charles Holton.
Look at that, sexy.
He's one of the receivers of our Behind the Bunker Ruthless Paintball made masks, virus stoppers.
Charles, your nipples are so hard we can see your nipple rings.
And also from Mr. Holton, here is his guitar.
His bass.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
Acoustic bass. Nice.
Very good.
And an AGD logo. Look at that.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about the AGD logo. But everything else
Let's
on there
focus
is
on this.
nice. Very good. Hey, and watch what I do here. This is Josh Zubizabrickus Instagram. You can follow him at on Instagram. He posted his picture of his custom watch.
I wouldn't follow me on Instagram. I don't.
And then this is the Real Bag of Chips showing his watch.
I think he
look at
started
that.
the trend, and then Josh was like, screw that, I'm going to one-up you.
Allegedly, his was a response to one of my old posts. And then I saw his, and I was like, hey, I got the same thing. So I posted
Yeah, well,
it.
it's easy to say that because he's not in studio. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you did it first.
Yeah, I did it first. There you go. Just like The Simpsons.
There you go. Hey, our good friend Tom Bertrand sent us in a little bit of a heads up. Where is it here?
Oh, Charles Halton actually says that wasn't a bass. It was a tenor ukulele.
Is it really? Do you want to stop the show and find out?
Yes, let's.
All right,
Can we
cool.
Google search
Yeah.
it?
Damn.
Kamloops Paintball had some shenanigans happen a couple weeks ago. The shop was broken into, and 3/4 of their rental fleet was stolen. The fill station stolen. The place was trashed. So there was a GoFundMe that was started. So if you guys go on GoFundMe and go to Help Kamloops Paintball,
Now, is that Kamloops in BC?
Kamloops in BC.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If
don't know
you,
if
if you
there's
guys
a
have a
Kamloops,
couple
Michigan.
little bits of pocket change and you want to spread the wealth, send it over that way. Endless Legends, October 2nd to 4th. Behind the Bunker is helping out on that one, so make sure you guys check it out. That will be at OXCC, brought to you by CPX
Yeah, you know me.
Events. Gavin, what do you know about this?
Air ups?
20% off.
20% off all of their in-stock inventory. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for new fields, water blobs, or all sorts of stuff that can be inflated, check out airups.com for some great savings for not only this year but next year as well. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it is the exclusive field of Behind the Bunker because one and done. You purchase it, and you're not going to have to worry about leaks or anything like that. Brent and his team makes a fantastic product, not only paintball related. There's the board game, there's water blobs, all sorts of stuff. Check out their site at airups.com.
Very good.
Very quickly before we're gone, Zane Smith in the live chat says, hey guys, say hi to my friend Lee. He went out paintballing this weekend. Loved it. He's a new addict. Get out now while you still can, Lee.
Yeah. All right, there we go. I'm just sharing it to a couple of different paintball groups, guys. Have you guys done all your sharing?
I'm hitting my like button right
Sharing,
now
caring.
because I follow directions, and I will be sharing this to my personal page.
And share.
Very good. All right, let's see what else I have.
I have something.
Go ahead, Joe.
I received, I'd wanted something sent to me that I could only get from America. So George, I asked my friend
Hey.
George, hey, if I could send something to his address, and he in turn was delivered to his address, and he sent it up to me. But enclosed in the package, he sent us an SOC patch. So that's going to go for the patch wall. And then he sent 4 of these. These are no contact carabiners to use to open the door, but Gavin's not paying attention.
I'm sharing. Oh, that's
Sharing.
fantastic.
And then Todd.
Oh, nice.
And then no contact carabiner you can put on to open doors. Do other things. Might be a bottle opener in that. But yeah.
I sincerely appreciate that. Thank you,
Yeah,
George.
I do too.
Yeah.
Hey, for
Thanks,
this.
George.
Hey, it's
Contactless.
about time you do something. I'm just kidding. Thank you.
Zuby,
Thank you very much, sir.
I'm going
much,
to use
George.
this for
Those
the
were
rest of the
awesome.
show.
I'll use this, because to protect me from the hoax virus.
I can use this to actually touch Josh now.
I think it has an opener. This could be bottle opener.
No, I really appreciate that. That's great. Thank you.
yeah.
Quick, someone drink
Smells
a
like
beer.
George.
What's up?
You.
You think if I chucked it on there, it would stick on the mat?
I don't know.
All right, why don't we move on to our first segment, guys? Advice from idiots. We only have a couple things to go through real quick, so we'll do that. First one comes from Dwayne King. He says, a question for the idiots tonight.
Hey. I resemble
Who are
that
you
comment.
calling it? Yes,
What are
yes, you
talking
do.
about? Why
A
do you gotta be
question
like
for
that?
the idiots tonight. What are the regulations on barrel covers for markers? Is there, if any? And he sent a picture in. So,
Is there any universal rule or standard for it?
No.
Nope. It is absolutely field specific.
would you allow that at your field? I think that's
No.
I think it's too short. Because it almost looks too short. Like, if you shoot that, it might have enough... Like, when you shoot a barrel sock, it moves, right?
It sure does. Skip.
It's like when you got that massage, Gavin, it moved. If it moves more than a half
Not
an
when I was in the
inch,
pool.
It was a shift, not a move. Shifted.
that may fall off.
So
But I like it. If it was a little bit longer, I think you'd be golden.
So I love the I love the hybrid Tipman for the pistol. It's like the barrel plug and has a lanyard attached to it, so it'll actually break paint before it forces its way out. But I think barrel condoms, barrel socks are great. Exalt makes a fantastic barrel bayonet or whatever it is, the sleeve, because that's sort of that harder rubber that is not going to shift. But like I said, it's as field specific. A lot of fields, they don't even require it at all, as long as you have your safety on, and you can put you can jam a squeegee in the end of the
Some
barrel.
You know what?
Places
There's
are still-
one way to find out. Take it out to the field, take a deep breath, and pull the trigger lots. See
Well,
if it works.
I just wish there was a standard for that for barrel blocking devices like they have for goggles, right? That
Yeah.
that everybody would adopt and say this is sort of what it is, and everybody knows across the world. So when you go from field to field, you're not running into difficulties with one field saying that no, you're not permitted to use a barrel plug versus a barrel condom, or no, that squeegee's not going to it's not sufficient for you.
So there's a lot of fields that only say barrel socks or condoms. Like there's no, but I don't think I've been to a field yet that where they're kind of okay with barrel plugs.
There's a lot of fields that are still okay with barrel plugs,
Yeah?
right? And there's
I don't. Nothing around here is.
no,
though.
there's a lot of manufacturers who still, because they still have a lot of inventory, who are packaging that in their starter markers, right? So
Yeah.
Order 1 million barrel plugs. How could I go wrong?
that's right.
Yeah.
I still hang barrel plugs off of my luggage so I can identify it when it comes down the conveyor belt, right? But that's about the extent of
Gets a
how
lot of
I use it.
odd looks from other people in it, but you know.
Yeah. Show Dwayne's picture there again, Matt, for 1 sec. I just zoomed in on it. So it looks like it's a 3D
And that's my worry.
3D
yeah.
printing. So if it was extruded plastic and it was hard Revy plastic opposed to other plastic, you might get away with that. But with the 3D printed stuff, even the hardest stuff, I wonder if that would.
And without protection from UV, it's going to break down the integrity of it, and then eventually you think it's safe, and then somebody's got shrapnel in their eye and paint. So
I don't know. To me, it almost looks too small. I don't know. I guess I'd like to see it dry tested. Do a dry shoot. Who was it in the live chat that just asked that? It says Phoenix. Phoenix said if you can dry shoot it off, it's a no-go.
And I still remember days in like the 90s where you had a barrel plug in and it was safe, and some jackass would accidentally pull the trigger and it would shoot across the staging area. I'm like, yeah.
But that's in the day. That's in the
It's a
days of-
warning though before the paintball
That's
gets
in the
there.
days
It's
of
a
pump
squint.
guns, though. But think of these super semis and stuff, and there's a barrel bag in there or a squeegee.
Yeah.
You know, you shoot one shot, 2 shots takes it out, then you've got another stream of balls shooting out.
Yeah.
Or that guy who puts a Firestorm crank on his
Bukaki.
98 and then sets it down on the table wrong.
Charles Holton in the live chat is inviting everybody to his place. He says he has 500 plugs in his basement.
Ooh.
What kind of plugs? Oh, barrel plugs.
He's
It
got
says.
one-
I think he spelled that wrong. Spell check probably got that.
He has one of those slings, too.
I don't think that's the kind of party I want to go to.
Sorry, Charles.
I'm not. I'm just not going to his party.
No. James Lindsay's too small. That's what she said. Yeah, so Dwayne King is the master of 3D printing, so I'm sure he'll come up with a prototype. The other thing is, what if you made it a little bit wider as well, so that if you did shoot it, the air and the air would be able to push out? Because that one looks pretty tight against the barrel.
No, you don't want anything. You don't want anything blowing back. Like if shell, like I don't know how many times at a rental socks that have paint broken in it, and then you shoot as you dry fire, and
comes out.
old shell flies out from the
But
back.
would you rather that
Or
than
dried paint
than
powder.
the pressure of it pushing the barrel sock off or barrel blocker off? I guess is
You're not looking for the lesser of two evils. You don't want anything coming out when it's not supposed to.
listen. I'm just looking for the silver
That's what
lining.
my
on
doctor
this.
said too,
As
right?
you pull out.
All right. All right. So what else do we have? I had one more.
What's the
Actually,
other advice?
That went
I
dark
had
pretty
a
quick.
couple of different things. Gavin, here's the mail time, by the way, for you as
It's like an
well.
invitation.
Actual mail?
It is actual mail. All right. Well, I have one more question for mail time, or sorry, for
Smell it
advice,
first, see if it's
and
got
then maybe
COVID.
we'll get back to it later on.
It smells like chloroform.
It could be. This one comes from Danny Merritt. He says, "Is there?" And we'll watch you guys in the live chat and see if you guys have any have any tips for here as well. Is there much difference between playing in the summer and the winter? I want to play my first winter experience this year and wondered if, aside from temperature, is there any playing that's different? Like, is there anything about playing that's different or less fun?
Is there where in the world is he playing though?
Yeah. Did it say?
No, it doesn't
Okay.
say, but I believe he's implying like winter.
Like snow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real winter, not Florida.
Yeah,
A fake
but
winter.
like, how did he word it here? If you want to, aside from the temperature, is there anything? Yeah,
I think temperature is the number one concern that you have, not only for your body but for your equipment as well. So, if you're using, as we talked about, some of those electronic markers, those space guns, that
OLED board.
OLED board, that are far more temperature sensitive than say your rear mechanical marker. You're gonna want to have a backup as well, right? Making sure
Yeah.
that, and Josh, we talked about this numerous times over there. What did you do to keep your batteries warm?
The what are they called?
Hot pockets or
Oh yeah, the
hot
you
shots.
take them out of the package, you shake it, and it gets warm. And are they called? They're not hot pockets, are they?
What?
I like
They're,
hot
hand,
shots.
they're,
like
they're like
pizza
hand, they're
pockets.
like
I think
hand
they're called
warmers.
hot shots.
warmers.
Yeah.
Hot
Hot
shots.
shots.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what it is.
Then they
yeah,
had.
yeah.
Then they came out with newer ones, Hot Shots Part 2.
Yeah.
So yes, making sure your equipment's going to be able to function
Good
in
for
the.
you, Joe. That was a good reference.
And making sure your
Thank you.
equipment's
We're
going to
watching
be
the
able to
Naked Gun right
function in the cold temperatures. Make sure your body's going to be able to function in the cold temperatures, as well as paint. I mean, if your field is not using a winter grade paint, you're going to have a bad time. Hate to say it though, I love it. I love MagFed. MagFed is not really winter friendly as well, even though they have a very robust shell. You're going to get far more breaks in your magazine and your gun because of just the pressure of it feeding too. So pump is king. Pump is great. But yeah, so you're going to have to look at your equipment and see if you can adapt to that.
And also with the temperature, not only your equipment, but your fingers, your phalanges, your extremities.
Phalanges.
Make sure that you not only wearing gloves, obviously to keep your hands warm, but bring a gun that your fingers will fit in the grip frame.
Yes.
If you've got a autococker with a slide, yeah. So find something that, and also when you're playing with an electronic gun and you've got mittens on, sometimes you hit the trigger by accident. So make sure that you only have it on when you're on the field, because that's an easy one to do as well.
And it is a harder game physically to play as well.
Trudging through the snow and
Like, yes, you're doing massive knee lifts as you go through drifts of snow. And I've experienced this numerous times when you're running to a building or a bunker and you stop, but little did you know there was ice underneath there and you slide right into the middle of the firefight. So you're going to have to slow down a little bit too and pace yourself if you're not accustomed to navigating terrain in slippery conditions. So,
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh, you're
You're
just making noises. But
I was laughing at what you're saying about sliding past bunkers and stuff. I remember playing Red Dawn winter game and actually trying to walk up a hill and sliding right back down the hill straight into crossfire from the church and the van. But someone suggested putting paint in a cooler in the wintertime with a warm water bottle to
No,
keep
I
your
think,
paint
I
warm.
think you
would-
want to keep
no.
it. No, I think you want to keep it a standard temperature. You want it to climatize.
I would agree with that. Cooler's not a bad idea, but I wouldn't change the temperature at all.
I didn't say it was going to be a good idea.
Why are you reading
You
it?
didn't even let me finish talking.
Hey, we have to shut you down, Josh.
I was
No,
going to
but-
say, if your field is using a good winter formula paint, you shouldn't have to do anything like put it in a cooler and keep it warm, or keep it in your car, keep it warm. All that. It should climatize well to the weather, like Gavin said. Be very mindful that paint, when it gets cold, gets brittle. It doesn't freeze. It's full of oil. We know oil doesn't freeze, right? Okay? Yeah, let's get all over that right now. Paint doesn't freeze. It's okay to sit out. I often just leave it in my gear bag. That's so nobody kicks snow on top of it, does all kind of dumb stuff like that. But don't worry about keeping your paint warm. If you're using good winter paint, it should be taken care of already. The thing you want to look after, I think, the most is your marker.
Yeah. Yeah.
No CO2 in the wintertime, too, by the way. That's
No. Hey, Lisa Weaver says wear bread bags on your feet, keep them dry.
How about
no, yeah, there's one up now.
I would disagree with that.
Technology has foregone the bread bag. You can now buy waterproof socks.
Waterproof socks would be a better bet.
Waterproof socks.
Gore-Tex boots with some wool socks?
Wool socks are great.
I use
Custom
meat
fans
stick
at
packages.
So why I disagree,
Is that one in
Lisa,
each toe?
is yes, it will keep your feet dry from hopefully external water from seeping in, but your feet are going to sweat. There's no way to moisture wick in a Ziploc bag or a plastic bag, right? So your feet are going to get cold and sweat, and that's going to be retained there. So I think you'll get colder faster. So
Is that trench foot?
it could be. Thank you. Why don't you Google that? And find
I
out.
had swamp feet before I had trench foot.
I had swamp ass quite a bit, but that doesn't quite happen in the
If
winter.
anybody's looking to try a winter big game, Flag Raiders will be hosting Red Dawn 16 on Sunday, March 7th, 2021.
Yeah, if you're getting swamp ass in wintertime, you're doing some...
I got too many layers on. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And Phoenix, absolutely, the entire panel and studio would agree. Smart wool socks are worth their weight in gold. Yes.
See,
Yeah.
At darn tough.
Bass Pro Shop sells wool socks with the fake sheep fur lining on the inside. Those are
so-
beyond wool sock technology.
So your phalanges, your I can't remember what your bones and your feet are called. Yeah, no, it's really important to keep
Foot
those
bones.
extremities warm.
bones.
And similar with a summer game, and this
Foot
is my big
tires.
tip: making sure you have a change of clothing, particularly if you're wet and cold, for the ride home afterwards too, or even halfway through the
Wait.
day too.
No, okay, so speaking of lamb's wool and stuff, what about those Uggs you used to wear?
They're fantastic paintball shoes.
You used to tuck your jeans into your Uggs and go out and play.
Well, at first I would tuck my pants and then pin them with the safety pins and make them nice and tight at the end. They were my acid wash jeans, and then I would tuck them into my Uggs.
Nice. Russ Carroll says in Florida the weather isn't an issue in the winter.
Yes, that is a wonderful translation of his comment.
Well, no, that's what he said before, and then I just saw his other one. Yeah. Phoenix says if you hit up the Army surplus store, there's military issue black wool socks. Pardon my ignorance on this, but I thought some of the old military issue stuff wasn't all that good.
I think the socks have always been good because
Decent,
they've always
yeah.
been made
Okay.
out of wool. Then they got away from wool and started using a synthetic material. But I believe everybody's going back to wool once again.
So if you get a great hiking sock that's full cushion, that is the perfect complement to your paintball arsenal.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable and you are safe, you can't go wrong. Again, Phoenix, we're endorsing this as well. It has to be a good pair of quality wool socks, and you're in comfort country all day. That's right, my friend. Population U.
Nice. I don't know. What about you guys from the Peanut Gallery? Do you guys think of anything else that people need to know for winter play?
Hibernate.
Also, hydrate, because you
Yes,
forget
sir.
that you're
Yeah.
not... Yeah. Hey, we didn't introduce the fact that we have a special guest in studio tonight. Normally he works from home and does all of our
Audio?
audio from home. He dials and he kind of does it through Zoom. But
Your
Mr.
compression
Mr.
needs-
Sebastien Monnier.
Yeah,
Hooray!
Hello, door.
Budger.
Hello.
Hold on.
Where the
Seb,
hell is he?
Seb,
Yes, sir.
talk in your mic.
I'm trying to.
Why is he hiding? I can't
Mike's
see
on
my
the wrong
camera.
side of the table.
There's no microphone award.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Wait, where that is that still here?
So for those of you who've been around
Somewhere.
the show
It is,
for a
yeah.
number of years, you would have remembered Seb in studio before he was able to take his tech services remotely. And he handled all of our sound engineering, and he was the one who would award on a weekly basis the Macrophone Award. And I'm sad to say I have yet to achieve this, but I'm hoping this evening, now that he's back, that he will award this to me. So this is still up for grabs, ladies and gentlemen. You can vote in the chat forum, but it doesn't matter because our friend Seb is the one who declares the Macrophone Award winner this evening.
And the winner this evening will win a wonderful poutine.
I will try my best.
Nice. All right. What else do we have? Do you have any? Oh, no, that's my segment.
That was you.
I am now finished with my nonsense. Matt, do we have a bumper for Gavin?
Mail time.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is mail time, the time where I get to rip open my sack and read some of the correspondence that you, ladies and gentlemen, have sent in. The first one comes to us, and it looks to be quite special. It is a card, as we teased earlier, and it says 2BTB on the front of it. And very simply put, it says, from Dwayne, Real Bag of Chips King,
Yes.
I heart BTB. And what does BTB, or what does Dwayne King gift to the group? Why, it is his name patch that he wants to put on the patch wall, ladies and gentlemen. Bag of Chips, his name tape makes its way into the BTB studio, and because you sent that in, my friend, it makes its way onto the patch wall. So thank you so much for sending that in. It will live there until we get a better patch, which will probably be next week.
Actually, a packet of Doritos was talking to me and wanting to send in some patches. So,
Triscuit crackers was like, we got to get into this action. So
bits and pieces or bits and bites.
Bits and bites. You've got at least 1 week, Dwayne. But thank you so much for sending that in.
Sorry, Dwayne.
Thanks, Dwayne.
And
hopefully we'll see him tomorrow night.
The next piece of mail comes to us from Zane, the Insane Zaniac.
Zane.
And I guess there's some pictures along with that. My friend Todd, he says, took a friend out paintballing yesterday, and he loved it. He said he had 2 old markers at home. Excited when he got home and dug these out. Are they worth getting them up and running? So what do we have? We have an Ion.
Yeah. So the Ion, and then this one here.
Oh my goodness.
And a Spider TL, I think.
Is it though? I think it's a clone because look at this. This is a clear grip.
That might be an aftermarket grip.
I would still put my money on a Spider
be a
TL,
Spider, yeah,
which is
I
like
think you're
tournament
right.
level or whatever.
I think
it
it's
was.
an aftermarket clone grip.
Yeah.
There.
So are they worth getting up and running? I would say 50%. I would say the Ion potential would give you more bang for your buck, and you can certainly keep that running.
But here's the thing: if you put air in either of those guns and either of them run, you've got a working paintball gun. So good for you, right?
That Spider for about 30 seconds.
I think you're right. I think I would put my money into the Ion. But if either of them leak, don't function, or don't work, I don't think I'd put my money into it, because if you went out to your local paintball field, a rental gun isn't that expensive. You know it's going to work, and at least you have a better experience. Save your money until you can get yourself a working gun. But if these work out of the box, try it for a while. But the second that they don't, just because of the age of them, you may just want to use them as a wall hanging.
There's still a lot of people who fix
But
up
that Ion
Ions.
has potential.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah.
So Ions, I think they still hold their value. They're great customizable guns, and great to get people into the sport. If it's been sitting around, I don't think it's going to take much to get it back up and running.
You still find people using them.
Yeah, no, for sure. But those Spiders, and depends on where you are in the world too, in terms of parts, right?
I think if you ask Joe if he goes in the vault, there may be some Spider parts, but
Oh, there's some Spider parts.
Doesn't an Ion only have 3 O-rings? Am I wrong about this? Like, there's not a lot of.
you're
O-rings
right. It
in
has
there.
very few serviceable parts on it.
Right.
The one thing about the Ion, and maybe you guys can correct me at home, but anytime I've ever serviced one, I always found that the more you put in and out the screws to hold the bodies together, and the more you take it apart, the more it kind of fatigues. They weren't really built for taking apart and putting back and forth. It was a low
It's not
end.
built like a 98 where it's
No,
meant to
exactly. And I think that the more you mess with it, the more it kind of becomes unserviceable.
Maybe Matt the Crypt can correct me on this, but I thought the Ion had 3 O-rings, and the big brother, the Epiphany, was the bigger brother of this marker, had 4 O-rings versus 3. I may be wrong on this, but
I think you may be right.
So I want to go to a comment. Chica Estrada.
No idea.
Chica Estrada in the chat says the Spider is a great gun. I am not disagreeing with you, Chica. It is a fantastic gun. It was one of the ones that really sort of propelled the sport, made it accessible to people. In our area of southern Ontario, when we do have winters, spiders are very temperature sensitive, and regardless if you're using HP or not, there's a small window of time and temperature where they're functional in our area, and parts are harder to come by now in the year 2020 than they were in the early 90s. So it's a very much a regional gun, I think, in some of the more temperate countries and temperatures where you can play year round. But it is unforgiving in the colder temperatures.
I guess I look at it too. It's kind of like buying a used car, an old used car, and expecting it to work when you want to take that family vacation. You may get it to work and it may run, or you may get it to the field and it may work for a couple of games. I don't know if I would trust it. I don't get a lot of time off to play, and when I do, I want my gear to work.
And Wolf said his Spider was his first gun or his first semi-automatic. I owned a Spider too. So I mean, I think if you've watched the show long enough, you know I've said I really valued Kingman and Spider and their contributions to the sport. I thought it was a great marker and it made it easy for people to get into the sport. This is pre-Ion to own their own equipment, but just my experience with it in the area that I play in, it's not advantageous for you to pick one up right now and play all year round with it.
And thanks to Wolf, by the way, for the nice words this week. He gave us a bit of an up this week.
I did say that. I liked it, and you all commented. I'm like, I can't just hop on the bandwagon now, so I'm going to say.
Well, why don't you say something now?
Wolf, I really appreciate the kudos and the tap and the share to your large audience. So, you've always been a supporter of the show. You were on the show even before I was on the show too. He was a big contributor to the show before.
Why are your eyes darting left and right like you're fibbing?
Who, me? Yeah. I'm not shifty mashiftis. My nose would have hit the camera if I was. No, we all love Wolf. He's been a great proponent of the sport, great support of our program as well.
I don't know about love. I like him. He's a nice guy.
I bow to you, my friend. I thank you for that.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk around telling everybody I love dudes.
I love dudes. I love whatever. Right?
If you can love someone, I love Wolf. You can love a dude.
When the COVID is over, I would give him a man hug. But that would be the extent of our relationship.
And Josh, I'm really sorry you're not that secure in your sexuality.
I'd give Wolf a hug too, but the restraining order and all.
COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
And Wolf, I'd hug you.
Judge,
Screw Zuby.
Judge goes tick tick no.
All right, before this turns into a love fest, let's keep going on.
Yeah. Do you have any more?
Oh, yes, I do.
Question?
Crap, I was caught in Wolf's dreamy eyes and forgot about the rest of my sack.
I have one question before you're done, but you finish them all. And then
all right, so you know what? I will wrap up with this question, then we can move to yours, then talk. Because I know this is going a little
another
long.
question about Wolf.
Our good friend Mike Holmstrom says, do you feel the popularity of first-person shooter video games helps or hurts paintball?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Crossover genres.
Joe?
Yes.
I haven't said that word once tonight.
I did.
Know.
What do you guys think?
I think Joe can attest to this. Every weekend we hear the word, or Call of Duty expression or some sort of first-person shooter game reference at the field. So if anything, it's probably helped it. But I don't think it's done well for the realism of what paintball actually is.
Definitely changed the vernacular of
scenario. Ooh, another word we haven't used in a while.
In the olden days, we would call them fields or scenarios. Now kids come out, and even some parents refer to them as maps. So there is some crossover, and some fields have developed.
It's almost like someone changed the vernacular.
Call of Duty type fields as well. But I think once you can manage to get somebody out of the house, #drop your controllers, and try paintball, I think you've got a pretty good. You've got someone hooked.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a ref that makes even the most basic game interesting with some good terminology, some good verbiage, and come up with an ideal genre. And you've got, you can hook some people in just by that.
Do you know what I think it helped though? Is we used to make up scenarios and we'd say, okay, this is SEAL Team 6 and this is so and so, or you're here and you're in the you're in the Mekong Delta and stuff. A lot of the young kids had no idea what any of that was.
I know,
or is. Right, so by using the words maps and all that stuff, it gets them involved a little bit more, which I think enhances the experience. I don't really mind it. It kind of irks me a little bit when people say, "Okay, we're gonna have team deathmatch," But
I'm not a
other
fan
than
of
that,
But-
it's like
Get with the
But-
times, Grandpa.
But those games are very easy for kids to understand.
Yeah.
yeah, and
as
that's
well-
the thing.
as
you
well
can
as
say that,
parents,
and they
so-
know exactly what's going to happen.
So it also, I think, lack of a better word, it desensitizes parents to the experience as well. So they're watching little Timmy or Johnny or Susan play video games all day, killing people on COD.
So does certain cream.
And so when they get a little frustrated with them spending that much screen time, and they propose an activity like paintball, whether it's a birthday party or something, then they jump at that opportunity, and it's an easy transition for them because they're running around. Even if we're using the same vernacular, the same verbiage, whatever it is, in terms of maps or creating the scenarios that are very similar to what they have in first-person shooting games now, it makes it accessible and easy for kids to understand and for parents to understand as well. And when they get off the couch and they play, they get hooked. And you can talk about this to Joe or Todd or any other field owner, how many kids get excited after playing the first game and want to come back. But it took first-person shooting games like Call of Duty and such to get them out there and get them excited about it. Because, again, there's not a lot of marketing or advertising that happens to kids other than video games. It's not like Facebook or Instagram or anything like that is marketing paintball to kids. So it takes video games and it takes a birthday party in order to get them there.
And you video game players are not incognito at the field. We hear you talk. We hear your verbiage, as you guys said. Like, you know, people are talking about, they're using all the video game vernacular about, you know, the maps and all that sort of stuff. And it's, I think if anything, it's brought more people to play paintball than any other medium out there.
It's also certainly inspired a lot of people's dress, like the way people are trying to make sure they match the camo of the characters in the game. Like that's pretty cool.
We're
Like,
not shying away from a military
You know,
scenario type experience.
No.
Where you remember in the early '90s when moved away from the
Yeah,
woods,
yeah.
and then everything was like a motocross outfits, right? And like
Yeah.
they wanted to legitimize paintball, so there was the numbers, there was the jerseys, which are still around today, but there was a strong push about anti-camouflage, right? And now it's becoming much more acceptable because of first-person shooter, because of video game culture, that people. I think that's why MagFed also explodes as well, because it becomes easier to sell. It becomes cooler, and that's a natural transition from using the controllers, reloading, or changing mags in a video game. Now, this is what I want to replicate here on the paintball field.
Yeah. I think in answer to the question, I think we all agree that video games have, if done nothing, they brought people to the sport. It may not have given them the realistic notion of what paintball is actually. There's some variations. I mean, people come out expecting specific type of guns. They're expecting to look down a scope, magnify, and shoot a guy from across the field, like any of the video game things. And there's no God mode out there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But you can get a
And-
legend package at Flag Raiders.
And you can also see them huffing and puffing after they've even walked to the first scenario field.
My thumbs feel fine, but my lungs hurt.
That's the one thing Call of Duty never addresses, and that's Joe's favorite: sturdy footwear. Your Van skateboarding shoes are not acceptable for
and at least
hills
tie them
or
up, for
dirt.
Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come play paintball in Chucks. No, you're not.
Yeah, not everybody can have Velcro shoes like Seb.
Here's a bit of a crossover from your
don't like the
question
Velcro.
to something I wanted to talk about last week. I'm going to play this video. Matt, can you come over to my computer for a second? So there's a new format that guys have been talking about, and I'm going to play the video. I don't want to play the audio and have any copyright issues, but this is Buddy Bauer and the guys over at Free Flow. They kind of came up with this, and it's a bit of a, what did we say, Matt? A Hunger Games meets
Oh, I can't recall.
Fortnite or
this one,
Fortnite.
So, yeah.
So basically, there you go, guys. I'm going to pause the video here so we can explain it. But all your gear gets taken apart and put into backpacks, and those are them right there. And the players are in that red circle. When the whistle goes, you go get your backpack, and you can either stop, assemble your gun there, which you're kind of stupid if you do that, or you take it somewhere high, assemble it, and then you are in the game with a live gun. And then after the first, don't quote me on this, but let's say a minute, you have to shrink the circle. After the next minute, you have to shrink the circle again, and it's the last man standing. Pretty neat concept, but kind of taken off of a video game. I don't know what you guys think of this. Josh, I don't know if you saw the video before or not, but what do you think of that concept? Is that something you'd play?
I did see it. It's kind of neat. Actually, one of the first things that came to my mind is you're going to let a ref take apart your stuff. No thanks.
Well, you take it apart.
But no, that
You
showed the
crony it.
ref
Okay, I guess.
putting it all in the bag. Like, to me, that's like, I don't. It's neat, and I think it would be pretty fun. Like, it does look like it is pretty exhilarating, and it would be a good time.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the whole.
I think in real life, you crony your marker, and then you take it apart in front of the ref without changing anything, put it in a bag, and then he takes your bag on you. I would like to see that with 13 or 14 Tippmann Model 98s.
Yeah, it'd
From
be
the
neat if
field.
everybody had the same gun. You could
Yeah.
put them in a knapsack, and everybody has 100 rounds, and then
Or
there's some
bindles.
ammo caches around, and you have to pick it up and grab it. I think that would be, if everybody
Grab
had
it.
the exact same gun.
Yeah. So, neat format. I think it would be fun. I mean, let's be honest. No matter how you play paintball, it's fun anyways. I don't know you need to shoehorn a new format into it. But from a competitive standpoint, this is fun. There's going to be $100,000 on the line at the end of the season.
It is neat that people are coming up with more ways to play.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just
But
your
it's similar.
standard.
It's similar. Similar to time trials. That's another option.
Yeah, there was a
And that format, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is called Scatter. You'll see that. Flag Riders will be hosting an event, one of the first ones in April next year, and I'm sure there'll be lots of them all over the world. So make sure you guys look for that as well. If you want more information, check out Free Flow. Send them a message, and they can give you more information. Just let them know you saw it here, so they know what you're talking about. Yeah. Does that end your questions?
Yeah, I cinched up my sack, and it's
Okay.
all you right now, my friend.
So I want to know, we have a special guest in studio. His name is Sebastien Monnier. He's our sound engineer. But Seb has taken a bit of a turn. Seb has dropped his paintball gun, and 2 weeks ago he picked up an airsoft
Blasphemy.
gun and is playing airsoft. But
I'm so
what?
sorry.
No.
Judas.
We shouldn't.
I
Okay.
fessed up to Zuby. The minute I saw him tonight, I'm like, I'm so sorry, bro.
That's the first thing he does is confess.
as soon as he made the purchase, he's sending a message.
Yeah.
But it was nice. You know what?
It was nice to see you, and
Nice
I'm
to see
sure you had
Seb out.
fun.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
You're dead to us, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was afraid of. Garvin, Schwarmer, I promise you I will make you the best poutine with
Wonderful.
Montreal steak spice in it. Forgive me, sir. Forgive me.
Yeah. Here's a question to the guys that are watching right now, or people that are watching right now, because I know there's a couple girls in there as well. Would you try airsoft? You played paintball, because I see that you guys are all paintball guys. But have you tried, or would you try airsoft? I know Joe and I definitely have played. Gavin's played. Josh, do you
Yeah.
own anything airsoft?
I don't own anything airsoft. I did at one point.
Going by my
Yeah.
gear?
No.
Sorry, I got to read this. Devin Schwartz says, switch from paintball to airsoft. Balls shrink.
You know,
Sorry, Josh.
there might be something.
Is it
there. I
airsoft
don't
gun just a gun in a pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play a lot. We used to play before
Tuesday
Mission
night,
Tuesday.
every week.
Yeah, like so that was like a staff night.
Yeah.
Because it was easy just to nobody needed extra air. It was like
Yeah.
just pick up and go. I really enjoyed it, depending on who you played with, right? So
Yeah.
when you're playing with your friends, it was great. Everybody hopefully called their hits. But as you introduce more and more people, because the sport continues to grow in North America, you have all sorts of no good nicks who show up, and you can watch BBs bouncing off them, not calling their hits, and it became less fun. So
Yeah.
paintball is always more fun for me.
Yeah. Okay, so Damon says no. Roger Weaver said he's got a Springer. Lorenzo said, I play both paintball and airsoft. I mean, as much as we're all avid paintball players, we've played airsoft before. The difference between us and most airsofters is we play airsoft like we play paintball.
Okay, so George Hayes' comment was
Totally.
that. I wanted to highlight that.
Yeah,
Airsofters
mine's
get
right on
mad.
George.
Yeah, airsofters get mad when you play like paintball. Like so, we're all. I start off with paintball and paintball player. And that's the same tactics I use. It's not authentic milsim tactics. So yeah, I recognize their BBs. I recognize I'm not going to die. I recognize that it's not going to go through an aspenite paneling. So
Unless you're Charles
I'm not even
Holton.
gonna get dirty when I get hit.
no, so I will play a little bit more aggressive than I will with paintball, but they don't like that, and so people pouted a lot, and so I wasn't allowed
Yeah.
to play anymore.
There is a good group of airsoft folk that come out to Flag Raiders to play weekends and Tuesday nights. They're a great group of guys. They play what I would call a more aggressive form of airsoft, and it's actually not bad playing with them. But some of the airsoft experience I've seen out of the field, I
Honestly-
would shy away rather quickly.
Honestly, for me, like when I played with them last week for my first airsoft game. So for the record, so if I may justify myself, I bought a kit, a starter kit, to play with my old school Michael Morwood nephew. So we could play together at the farm or at the Flag Raiders many fine field they have.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you.
Good plug. Yeah. So we're still
You're
listening.
most welcome, Joe.
We're all here. Thanks, Seb.
I started playing I thought the mentality or to me, anyways, I always felt, and I know it's because I always end up with the SARS guys around me playing paintball in big games, but the communication seemed better playing with paintballers versus airsofters. That's just my take. Send all the hate mails to Zuby, please.
There we go.
But yeah,
Go ahead.
I just
I'll
thought,
take it.
The first thing that popped in my head is the communication level seemed better in paintball. That's all I'm gonna say.
And I'm not hating on airsoft, so I appreciate you picking up a marker or a gun of some sort, Seb, and hopping back into it. And so hopefully you dipped your toes. You want to get back into paintball again, because I think airsoft has a significant part of our industry because it helps support fields. So when airsofters come in and they pay their entry fee, that also benefits paintball players too. So you can grumble, you can make fun of them all you want, but that helps the field owners to continue to operate and to run recreational games and tournaments and all that too. So it's another revenue stream, and from my limited experience with the airsoft community, they're pretty harmless and they're pretty self-sufficient.
For sure. And not to steal Gavin's word, but the more genres that are played at the field, the better for the field owner.
Joe has a question. Go ahead, Joe.
I would say it's a comment. The airsoft, the guys playing airsoft, it's very similar to scenario or recreation paintball. They're utilizing the same fields. They're doing their same mission, and we treat the airsoft group just like they're another paintball group, and they rotate from field to field.
Yeah.
They take their map, whatever field they're using, they flag it, and they go out for their 2 or 3 games and come back in, and the whole rotation and the whole usage of field works great. We hosted
symbiotic relationship.
We hosted an airsoft night game, and
That's
they had a fantastic night game.
Yeah.
We host a couple events.
Synergy.
We host a couple airsoft only events as well, and I'm happy to run and host airsoft games whenever the field is open, because quite frankly they're happy to be out there. They enjoy the field. They're gracious, just like paintballers. And
I would be curious to find out how many airsofters are also paintballer or
great question.
That's a good question.
I've noticed a lot of airsofters who are only airsofters who've only played that as an action pursuit or action shooting game, and paintballers I can see who get into it in scenario, look at it and it looks really cool, and they want to cross over. But I've also one of the last couple of seasons alone, I've seen people they've never touched a paintball gun before, but it's only been airsoft that they've dipped their toes in.
But MagFed's really brought a lot of airsofters have kind of put their nose in the air and went, what is that? That's pretty cool.
Here's a funny paintball story for you. What is the area on your field that has the boat? Like the beach landing.
That's
Butcher's
Bay.
The boat
So
field?
Butcher's Bay, yeah. So I was in the boat with a guy just praying and spraying and praying.
Yeah.
Is this another wolf?
It's a family
love
show.
thing?
The one guy that had this really cool MG looking thing with real looking bullet thing.
Yeah.
His gun broke and he looked at me. He's like, "Do you know how to fix this?" I said, "I'm sorry, dude. I'm a paintballer." True story. Hashtag paintball.
Yeah.
Let's carry a little salt
We'll talk about this.
there.
Pin this for next week, guys. We'll talk about it. We'll talk more about airsoft and talk about speedsoft, because that's a whole other topic. But before we get to that, up next we have a video from Joe. This is his weekly vault segment. But before we get to his vault segment, where he goes in to his vault and pulls out an old piece of memorable paintball equipment, I want to tell you guys about Planet Eclipse. Do you guys know that Planet Eclipse has more championships, new mechanical markers, new electros,
No.
and new territory, including the new MagFed division?
Come on.
Get Planet Eclipse, Seb. Yes, and take on the world.
Holy moly. Hashtag holy moly.
Enola Gay, when the world's greatest players, photographers, expected parents, and Seb need the best coverage, most vivid colors, and biggest selection, they pull a tab on an EG product. Hashtag pop smoke. Hashtag Seb forever.
Hashtag yummy.
Delicieux.
Thick welded seams, stainless steel hardware, and multiple color options make Air Ups the #1 choice for inflatables on and off the field. Made in America by Brent Davis and his team. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, 20% off all of their current inventory at airups.com for paintball, water blobs, and board games.
Do you know there is no team? It's all Brent Davis.
That guy is
all
a
Brent, all day.
magnificent guy.
Dreams fade. Ruthless paintball products, color sublimation, and craftsmanship never die. On or off the field, Ruthless will keep you fresh. Use the promo code BTB15 for 15% off your order.
Yummy.
Adapt, create, and win. Exalt is in our blood. Make your game boil. Get Exalt. Available worldwide.
Also yummy.
Worldwide.
Worldwide!
From the beginning, you stumbled down a rocky cliff. You waded chest deep through a mosquito-infested bog. Now, whether you are sliding into a snake or running and gunning, GI Sports has the gear for you now with the new Stormer.
Yes.
DLX Technologies, guys. Make sure you follow them on all your social media devices. They are true industry innovators now with some of the lightest, fastest, and sleekest hardware in paintball. DLX has the power to get you to the podium, and they have OLED boards.
And they do, and that also have very genuine smiles. I love
Since
that.
1969, Altama has put more boots on the ground, peds in your socks, or show sats than any other DoD supplier. Make the military choice yours. Get your feet into Altama Original SWAT today. Hashtag sturdy footwear.
Putting the power back in your paintball. Never miss a shot with Ninja. Ninja supplies regs, remotes, and recharge systems to the top teams and players in their sport. Don't be left behind. Get Ninja.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go hit the vault.
Hey, it's Joe from Flaggers Paintball here with another segment of From the Vault, where we go back in history, back into the early days of paintball, and show you something that I have collected, hoarded, or just not bothered and thrown away. So today we're going to talk about communications. I've been doing paintball since 1983 or 1984 when I started Flag Raiders. Early days we didn't have any kind of walkie-talkies. We just sort of called and whistled and hoped information got by. But everybody, whether you were in Canada, whether you're in the US, you had Radio Shack was a company. This takes 6 AA batteries. It has a telescopic antenna. You could move dip switches around and you would get different channels. So you had 3 different options. You know, as you got a little more sophisticated, you could come out with the TRC213 1 watt 3-channel transceivers. Even had a squelch button. It's pretty crazy. Then Motorola got in the game. They came out with the Sport Talk. This one had, I believe, 1 to 8 channels. There's no sub channels. This radio came out in, I don't know, 1987, 1988, 89, somewhere around there. The Talkabout. And these revolutionized communications, not only in paintball, but in ski areas, on the beach, whatever, in malls. But these had 14 channels, and then they had sub channels, which was pretty cool. And they were reasonably inexpensive. That's what we used for several years until people came out with the Puxings and the Bowfangs. These are probably the most common radios and communication methods in paintball today. These work pretty well. They're readily available. You can program multiple channels with an easy to use application. Different mics are available. They take standard Kenwood or Motorola mic pin. So these are the communications devices from paintball. Guys, you've been watching From the Vault, and we'll see you next week.
Time it is. It's that time of the month for PB Swag. Let's see what I've got. So every month, guys, if you order from pbswag.com, they send you all kinds of paintball goodies. Like this, just in time, because I actually need a new one. This is my Exalt Barrel Made. That's cool. Some more Exalt stuff. This is a grip for an A5 or X7. I actually have one that I can work on. Antimicrobial brass door opener with a sling from Exalt. Well done, Exalt. That's a good idea, especially in these times. Look at this, a scarf that can be used as a mask or a head wrap. Maybe one day when this pandemic is over. This is cool. Paintball strong face mask. I've been wanting to get one of these, and now I don't have to worry about it because my friends at PB Swag have given me one. Regulator grip. I have many guns that could go on. And one last thing in here. Oh, look at that. Check that out. The new bubble gum buttstock from Exalt. So guys, order PB Swag so you can be part of this game every month. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you, Joe, for From the Vault.
Indeed.
And make sure you guys check out PB Swag.
Roger that.
But what I will say is,
Roger.
not only is PB Swag awesome, the hit from the PB Swag this week is the precision milled antimicrobial brass door opener. And I know
I wish I had one of
I know
those.
Roger gave us
No,
one.
George
Hay gave us one, which is awesome. But what I'm saying is, if you don't have a friend like George, you've got a friend in George. Go over to Exalt. Look at this. So you get the same thing, right? And it has a, what did you call it, Matt?
Do me.
The squirrel snare.
The scroll snare. See, I didn't know the technical term.
What?
Scroll snare. So you can
Squirrel
hook it to your
snare.
belt,
Squirrel.
and it's got
As in
like
the
the
animal.
like the elastic on it to put on your belt. So
Bear
if you're
Grylls
like,
over there.
What
you know,
about my onion then?
so if you're like a custodian with your keys on your belt, you could put this on. But anyways, good for Exalt. And thank you to George Hay again for ours. That's awesome. I am actually going to use this. I've donated this to my wife who works at the hospital. She's going to try to sell these to all of her hospital friends because they one of her colleagues bought one and paid through the nose. They're really expensive if you go to buy these online.
Now, if they only had a subscription to PB Swag Bag.
That's right. They would have got one. So
Correct.
make sure you guys check out PB Swag. Check out Exalt for that if you want an individual one. Or hit up George Hey and say you know us. And maybe he'll hook you up with that.
You have to
So
befriend George Hay.
So very cool. Yeah. So Joe, what do you have next in your vault? Do you have anything interesting?
Well, I've got a PMI 1. I think we're going to try to shoot. I've got a tracer. Got a few tracers we're gonna fire up and shoot. And Matt Logan and I on Sunday, he came up with a neat segment called Tailgate Restoration. I pulled out you saw the Nell spot when I pulled it out. We couldn't even caulk it, and it had an extended barrel and direct feed, but we couldn't budget. So I channel locks and we took it apart. Then we put automatic transmission fluid, and we got it cleaned up. And we're gonna try to shoot the Nell spot, but it's got copper pipe as an elbow for a feed tube. So that was our tailgate restoration. So we're gonna give that a vault on that. We'll see how that goes.
I could just see this segment turning into Joe hosing everything with automatic transmission fluid.
Well, we had
the automatic segment.
We had the gun. We stripped the gun on we stripped the gun on the tailgate of my truck. So
I like that pipe action.
Isn't tranny fluid just lube?
That's
but it has an Adam's apple.
That's something else in Thailand. But
sorry, speaking of derailing. So there you go. So watch for that segment. And Joe, I actually I was thinking about something else that's near you that you could use for from the vault if you ever short of stuff too. So other than that, guys, I think we're pretty much at the end of our end of our show. But Seb, thank you for sitting in tonight. How did the audio sound?
I can honestly say that hands
speaking
down,
to the mic, Seb, please.
I'm just gonna say
I am. I totally am, but it's just very quiet. I really don't want to. I love you all. I don't hurt anybody's feelings here, but
there's one of us he doesn't, is what he's saying. He just
Matt
doesn't.
the Crypt got the mic
Hey-o.
award tonight.
Because he never spoke. You can't lose if you don't compete.
Give me that award.
All right, fine. Pass this to the jerk over there.
Off camera, Matt. Yay. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, Todd.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. And thank you to Matt for pushing all the buttons. Thank you to Gavin Sharma.
Always great to be here, folks, and really, really sincerely appreciate every single one of you that contributed to the show in the chat. And there's a special place in my heart for each and every one of you that liked and shared this program so other people saw this as well. On the way out, if you haven't done so, make sure you hit that like button, and we will see you next Monday as well.
Gavin, when will I see you next?
Joseph, you will see me tomorrow evening at Tuesday Night Mission Paintball.
Tomorrow night at the outdoor field. This could be the last one. But come on out.
Depending on light and temperature.
Depends on if Matt the Crypt comes out and ruins it.
So last week we had a Real Bag of Chips who came out and
yeah.
was so appreciative of the game and the activity that he sent us the thank you card and I love you card and his patches on the wall. So hopefully Bag of Chips will be out tomorrow. I will be out. Joseph will be out. Matt the Crypt, are you out?
I'm considering it now, actually.
Yes.
Hey,
just so I can ruin it.
Phoenix in the live chat, by the way,
Stands up.
says that he was promised, or they were promised, poutine.
Yeah, so Matt gets poutine as well.
Can you bring a little poutinery cook set next week, and we'll offer it up.
Seb needs a food truck.
There we go. And thank you to Joe Kimson from Flag Raiders Paintball.
Thanks again for coming out, guys, and we'll see everybody next week or tomorrow night for Mission Tuesdays at the outdoor field. Be well, pew pew.
Very good. And what about you, Josh Zuby Zabrickus?
I
on
will be
time
out.
Zubrickus.
I will be out for Mission Tuesday paintball. I don't
In
know
December?
what Mission Tuesday paintball is, but yes, I will actually be there tomorrow night.
Nice.
Really?
So yes,
Wow. I may have to strap on
I
some
am
strapping-ons.
You know what?
visibly excited.
So, Joe, I'm asking a favor from you.
Yes, Gavin.
If the whole cast and crew and production company show up, can we please bribe a referee to be on the same team for at
Okay.
least one or two
Yeah, we should be
games?
able to
That
do
way we
that.
can do a full BTB squad going out and playing.
Yes, we
I
can.
might have
We
to
could have
charge
a
up the GoPro for
dead
this.
zone shot.
Oh, I'll be there. Right, as the game goes. But at least we
Gavin,
can.
you stupid!
At least
Just
we
be Gavin and I shit talking everybody in the dead.
No, at least we could start together. Right? And that's all that counts.
Will there be any hopper kicking, Gavin?
It's hard to kick people's hoppers in the dead zone, but I will try my best. Thank you, Seb. Yeah.
Don't forget to like Flag Raiders on Instagram, flag_Raiders_paintball. Like it.
Yeah, and if you guys are, and I know the borders are closed right now, but if you guys plan to be in your calendars for next year, come to Flag Raiders if you're in the States, and if you're within
That's a couple-hour drive.
a couple-hour drive. So Michigan's a couple-hour drive, New York's a couple-hour drive.
So,
So
it's
really,
Pennsylvania, Ohio.
yeah. So if you guys
It's
are
not so
anywhere in the
terrible.
northern states, getting to us is pretty easy.
And if
and
you're not sure how
money
to
is-
get there, George Hay.
That's true.
Just tap him. He's always here.
And
Yeah.
let's not forget, the U.S. dollar gets you quite a lot of
Yeah,
Canadian
one-
dollars.
when was the last time you
One-
a lot of
tapped George
poutine.
Hay?
When I was staring at his Crocs, I'm like, hey, those are lovely Crocs.
There you go.
Sorry to step out of that, but yeah, join us at Flag Raiders. We're here every weekend, Tuesdays as well. We'd love to play with each and every one of you as well.
Very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thanked everyone for being on the show. Thank myself. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have ADD and can't stand to watch us all the way through on Facebook, you can get us in a podcast form. We're available on iTunes, Podomatic, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, anywhere else that you can slur.
Stitcher.
So definitely check it out, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you
Been drinking.
next Monday.
God.